All right. Good morning, hospitality listeners. We are back doing what we do best at VRMA, and that is sitting with the best operators with our great partners like Breezeway and sitting down and asking questions around operations and efficiencies so that way you can take away from it. And we are sitting here with Jarrod Tucker. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, Jarrod, let's talk about the name real quick. Tell us the name of your company and how you guys got started.
Sure. It's Pink Cash Cow Property Management. We're in Cincinnati, Ohio. We started back in 2020 when we first moved to Cincinnati. We were interested in real estate, and the strategy that came to mind for us and resonated the most for us was short-term rentals. So we got into Airbnbs.
I love it. I love it. So, Brandy, you're an operator. Jarrod, you're an operator. I'm also an operator, but on the day-to-day, so I don't count myself much. What do you guys see when it comes to operations from 30 properties in the
30
portfolio? And then to Romy,
Yeah.
who I
Well,
can't even keep track with anymore.
Yeah, it's funny. You said you got your start in 2020, and that's when we had like one of our years of like enormous growth. And it's kind of ironic because obviously COVID and everything, and you're just kind of like, hopefully this works. So now you're up to 30 properties. At what point did you think, okay, I need to have some sort of operations management? Things are getting like a little scattywampus with cleaning and maintenance.
Sure. I think we started probably around about 5 properties, and we started building out systems. At that point, we did not know about Breezeway. And so, we did probably the normal thing of building out checklists. We had Word documents, laminated, posted in the property. That very quickly became unmanageable in terms of being able to go back and update those systems. So probably about 10 properties, maybe about a year and a half in. That's when we started transitioning over to Breezeway.
Yeah, and I think that's important for people to know is like you don't need to be a huge operator to really take advantage of a system like Breezeway because again, like you're in the Google Sheets, you're creating these things. It's not automated. It's not easy to look at. So, Breezeway can be super helpful with that. And so did you have an easy time with adoption? Does your team like it?
The team definitely likes it right now. A lot of our people have turned over in this space, right? That's all they've ever known. Some of the service providers that have come over to us as they work with other property managers in the area, they actually tell us that they like Breezeway because they like having the systems and having the clarity and the standards that you're able to put in place with Breezeway.
Yeah, and I think especially when you can have access to all of that data and you have a small lean team, it really helps you pinpoint like what is going wrong. You like, oh, we've had like 11 AC requests at this one property, like something's going wrong. And that is the same whether you have 30 properties or 800 units, like having that data insight is super important.
All right, Jarrod. So I have 2 questions for you, but the first one I want to ask to lead up for my second one is what did you do before you got into property management?
I work full time and I still work full time
Okay.
as well. Right. So my background's in is operations and manufacturing. So that's one thing that like really made a lot of sense coming into Breezeway and using that software was, having a place to put standards and then document those things to, one, help from a quality standpoint, but also help, hold the organization accountable to the standards.
I love that you said that because you basically answered my second question for me. But the second question was not coming from a traditional short-term rental or hospitality background. What was the adoption like for a product like Breezeway coming in as an operation software with a new industry? But the fact that you have like operational efficiencies kind of like makes sense where you like, okay, this product makes sense because it would make sense for any business to just built a little bit different.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't be, afraid of using the software. They definitely have the onboarding folks that will help you get set up initially. So I think you get like a month or so kind of onboarding with somebody to hold your hand and show you how to build things out. And there's a lot of tutorials. And I think there's like a learning page or something about that and different like 1-point lessons to show you how to use the software as well.
All right, Jarrod. So with your guys' growth recently, I would love to know what's the next thing that you're really excited about when it comes to your operation. Is it scaling more? Is it dialing something in? Is it offering more for your guests? Like what is getting you really excited for the next phase?
Yeah, I think for us, we want to make sure that we're consistent with our product, right? And we have a consistent experience for all of our guests. So, we're not looking to have, 100 units tomorrow. We want to scale sustainably and profitably, right? That's why we're in this business, not just to add more doors, right? And, start losing money. So, having the systems in place, that's very important to us so that we can do this sustainably over a long period of time.
I love it.
Yeah, it does get really hard to backtrack. Like once you kind of have a little bit of a mess to go back and implement that kind of stuff is very hard. I'm also just kind of blown away that you said you still have a regular full-time job. I'm like, I give you a lot of credit. And so, yeah, well, thank you so much for chatting with us. It's been great talking with you.
Absolutely. Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks, Jarrod. All right, everybody, you heard this here first. So tune in for the next micro round of interviews we got here at the Breezeway booth.